Welcome back, permanent underclassians, those in the permanent underclass. Another week of us having anxiety. Are we all going to lose our jobs, or is AI just a huge load of crap that can't really even function without a human babysitting, human in the loop? Back with my main man, Clyde, who is like Mr. Globetrotter, Senor Clyde. Should I call you Senor Clyde, Sir Clyde? What part of the world are you coming to us from us today?
I'm in New York. You can just call me Clyde, dude. Yeah, you
Just
can just
Clyde.
go. Just Clyde's in New York. The first name's okay. Well, the
Good
first
old
name
Clyde
base.
from the block. Last week he was Clyde in the bush.
Yeah, dude.
There was like birds and stuff in the background while we were talking to you.
The sound of crashing waves and birds and bugs coming in the picture.
There was one particular piece of news I feel like we have to cover because it's like so on brand for us, and it is this Karpathy dropped the jobs, like I don't know what you want to call this, a data board.
Yep.
And so he just scored every job in America for AI replacement. And what he said is basically if you use a screen for your job at all, like you're cooked. Your job's going to get replaced. And this dashboard dives into that pretty elaborately by every job out there. And I'm going to share it and stop talking about it. Did you see this?
I did. I've really enjoyed this era of fake work. Like, it's been great. And it's such a shame to see it come to an end. I feel like I did manage to capitalize decently well on the 10 years that we all got to just do fake work, but it's ending. Yeah. We don't get to sit at home and be cozy and be in our pajamas and work anymore within probably 5 years by the
Yeah,
looks
so
of this.
this
But
is
yeah,
this is Karpathy.ai/jobs. And what this is basically a huge database, or the output of a huge database that's showing every kind of job and the exposure or danger that your job is in of being replaced by AI. And actually, interestingly enough, this job, this looked a lot more red the first time I saw it. So maybe he's changed the data up, or he's just like white pilling a little bit more than it was, because things like general office clerk seems to be the outlook is going to decline, but only a 7% decline for general office clerks. That seems like that would be a job that would be like the most on the front lines. Like you're going to get replaced by a machine, right?
true.
Customer service representatives. We're already seeing this. Like, have you seen this thing now where people, like, you just get a call or you call somewhere and you think you're talking to a human and there's almost no delay and it's the person's on the phone with you, and
Yeah.
then
Well, my favorite was when you're calling and talking to these customer service agents that they kind of like they're trained to be like, no, I'm actually totally human, and you're like, how do why can't I declare this string as a numeric in Python? They're like, oh, great question. Let me get right into that. Like immediately, they just like break down Python mechanics like to your face.
right. Yeah, I think cashiers is an interesting one. Like a 10% decline. I guess that makes sense because you already go into like a McDonald's and it's just like a board, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cooks.
I mean, I'm surprised some of these guys are left. Cooks are not cooked. Look at that.
Cooks are not cooked. If you are a cook, you're going to kill it. You're going to keep cooking. Actually, they're expecting
Yeah.
you to grow. But yeah, it just sucks because it's like a lot of these. And I tell you what, no, this data looks like it has been like totally changed from when it first came out. Because when it first came out, I feel like this was just a sea of red, and people were like really upset. And now it looks like, oh, we're okay.
What's in the rapidly accelerating category? Like what's in the much faster outlook? I'm curious.
Much faster. So there's a total of 143 million jobs. The average outlook is that things are growing. So much faster is, it looks like the job was called, they're going to plug you into the matrix, and that's going to be the number one job, actually. They're just going to harvest
Sweet.
your blood.
Yeah, great.
It's rapidly growing. It's a rapidly growing industry, though.
That's what's happening. We're harvesting attention. You and I are trying to harvest some attention. Are software developers meant to increase in jobs? Is that what that says right there? Plus 15% software developers.
It does say that. So software developers, quality assurance analysts, and testers. I mean, the QA side of things has to be like more important than ever before, right? Because the actual
Yeah.
planning and the execution more than ever is like, I mean, how many times do you see software developers now that they're just like, yeah, I don't know, I haven't even really looked at the code in like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So you need someone to come in and like QA that shit, right?
Right. Yeah. Me personally, I write all of my code actually. Like, yeah, I do everything manually. But yeah, some people out there don't write their code.
Right. Keeping it old school, keeping it
Yeah.
pure. Childcare workers is set to decline. I don't know about that. Like what? I don't. I'm not. I don't know. Barbers. This is great. Like I love going to my barber, and I'm just like, man, there's just no pressure for you guys in here. Like I'll never have. Claude is never going to cut my hair. Like
That's true.
I'm always going to go to Joey T, the barber, who's like, got some side hustle going on, drives a
Yeah.
motorcycle, he's all tatted up. Like Clyde can't fucking replace my barber. All right.
I cannot. No, I always forget. You kind of forget about the real world that exists when you're completely embroiled in like on the X and on every latest AI news, and you can get so convinced so quickly, like, oh, everybody's fucked, but then you forget that there's barbers and cooks, and that's like a huge portion of our economy that we just totally forget about in our little bubble of X AI psychosis.
Right. Yeah. I know. Yeah, and like I saw another thread today, although we didn't have it in our notes. It was something about like the X algorithm is purely based off of like Grok AI now. There's not like a mathematical. I don't even know. I can't even like articulate it. But I just thought to myself like, oh, so like anything that basically gives you anxiety about AI taking over, like that's the current meta on X. Like, and
Yeah.
it's just like a GIF or like a movie, like a 10 seconds of Christian Bale, like having like a fucking existential crisis in whatever film he was in like one sentence, and we'll see a lot of that as we kind of run through the show notes today.
Of course, I hate how like you can even being conscious of the fear mongering aspects of the algorithm, even knowing that you're just getting sold like pure anxiety, it still is so gripping. Like, have you seen the big stuff around Professor Jiang coming up recently? You know, this guy, the Chinese high school teacher, and
Yeah, he
he's
was the one that like predicted the Iran war or whatever.
right. And so he's providing like all these eschatological explanations for why we're getting in Iran, because it's like, people trying to bring about the end of the world. And it's like the most gripping, terrifying, world ending Armageddon type of narratives that is just so engaging. And everyone on X is convinced that he's like an asset, for just like, because he's talking all these theories, but he didn't come up that quickly. Like I've been following him for a while. It's been gradual. Like I don't think he's just been like supplanted into the zeitgeist the way other people seem to have been. But anyway, yeah, that's the fear mongers are still winning even when you know what's happening. It's so hard to resist. But let's get into the notes.
Yeah. The other thing, I guess, if we're going to stay kind of in the same vein here of like jobs being replaced in permanent underclass fashion. Have I? Oh no. Okay. Sorry. Technical difficulties here. I don't know if you saw this. This is also from last week. And like people just lead with this, like, I mean, this story is insane. This guy, he used ChatGPT to sell his house in 5 days. He got 5 offers in 72 hours. No real estate agents. Saved so much money doing it too. He used AI to price the house, wrote up the legal contracts. He marketed the effing property for him, or ChatGPT marketed the property for him. I don't know why I just self-censored. And and this guy goes on and just talks about how he sold his house in 5 days, letting ChatGPT handle the entire process. Now, I don't know about this, but I do think that real estate agents in general, they've always seemed like, I don't know, have you ever been through the home buying process?
I've never been through the home buying process, but I've met real estate agents, and I always wonder, how the fuck are you making this much money? Like it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's like, I don't know. I just think it's I don't know. It doesn't seem that hard, like especially when you're looking for a house. Like if you buy a house, I can just look online and see like on Zillow or whatever what the house looks like, and then I can just call. It's basically the only reason that the real estate agents are involved is so the buyer doesn't talk directly to the seller. At least that's what it seems like, because they're always like, oh no, you can't talk to the seller about blah blah blah. You always have to go through us. And I'm like, is that a real rule, or is that just something that you guys made up because like you don't want me to go do this on ChatGPT?
Right.
So I don't know. Interesting. Permanent underclass, your real estate agents get prepared for the permanent underclass potentially.
I think the other, in a similar vein, like I do think lawyers, obviously you need to have a lawyer sign off on like the full validity and legitimacy of whatever legal decisions that you're making, or maybe a contract. Like I do think they'll stay in the loop going forward, but if I got hit with like a lawsuit or something, or if I wanted to like, launch some kind of case, I would probably do everything I could with OpenAI and Anthropic first and only hire a lawyer for like the last, kind of review steps, right? I'm pretty sure like these are I should only need a couple billable hours by the end of all this if I do it right. And I'm sure lawyers are already seeing this. My dad's a divorce lawyer and he's just getting way more like, hey, could you just take a quick look at this little thing I drew up? Like, all the contracts are getting written and like there's plans around them. And it's more like, do you mind just a quick little 15-minute look at this old buddy? And, he can't even,
Yeah. Like, don't take more than 50 minutes, please. But if you don't mind, like, yeah, that's funny.
Right.
Yeah. I wanted to also, okay, so here's what I really wanted to talk about today, because this is what just came out this morning. And this is the new Google Stitch. Have you seen this, Clyde?
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Designers are actually cooked.
Designers could actually be cooked. And we just said on the show a couple weeks ago, that seemed like the one sort of weak spot still. But why don't we run this through a test? Let's run this through a live test. This guy, and I saw a couple of tweets like this. He said, holy shit, new Google Stitch is scary. Designers, I think we're cooked. And all he gave it was like this picture with a couple scribbles and stuff on it. So I've made my own today picture. We're going to make a mobile app out of this scribbling picture that I put together. And let's see if we can get Google Stitch to create us something cool and actually see if designers are cooked. So if you're a designer, this is going to be the moment of truth. Are you cooked? What do we want to make this app into, Clyde? Or this, we've got the visual aid. What are we going to make it?
Let's make, I was going to say perps decks. How about we do Tinder for AI agents? This is
Tinder
like
for people who have the same weird diet as you. How about that?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Tinder for people that are eating Filipino jungle food followed by 5 New York bagels in one morning. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. We need to turn this picture into an app for Tinder for people that can find each other who have the same diets. So some people only eat, they're allergic to gluten. Some people only eat meat. Some people eat like weird Filipino jungle food, followed by 5 New York hot dogs.
Love it.
This needs to be the landing page for the app so that people can match via what foods they're eating.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's see.
Let's see how it does it.
That's me using Whisperflow, by the way, which is like an insane way to speed up pretty much everything. Not even just AI, but like text conversations with people. I actually feel bad because I can just be so overwhelming now when I'm like messaging someone because I know that they're just typing and
I need everybody to use it. I hate getting voice messages so much, man. It's like, how dare you disrespect my attention? Like, I don't want to sit here and listen to your voice unless we're actively talking. Like,
right. My wife tells me that too, because like WeChat, I'm sure you're familiar with it being in Hong Kong. It's like a massive, like everybody uses it. And she said that, like, she just hates it because people send her 10-minute long voice messages, and it's like important shit that she has to respond to, and she's just like, I can't take it.
It's infuriating.
Whoa, what did we get? We already got, it's called Harvest Social. Is it done already? Have you used this yet, Clyde?
Not yet. This doesn't look, I think this is like the planning phase is my guess. So we're going to it's going to plan the color palette and the components that are going to get used. And then, yeah, right. You see that mapping out the components on the left.
Right. Okay. So far we've got like a nice like green color palette, a couple different fonts, what the buttons look like, icons, sort of, tertiary color, primary color. And then it looks like it's going to turn into an app. So it's actually going through the steps of like not just spitting out like a completed app in the last second, but it's giving you a nice like, there's almost like a Figma board. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of free flowing. Starts with my drawing here. Do you like my $34.99 sign up with 5 stars?
Those 5 stars is a beautiful touch. Honestly, I don't think they'll have to stylize that much. This little the handwritten bit.
I think that's going to be like the button that like, how could you not click that? It's 5 stars.
Hell yeah.
No, something unexpected happened and Stitch couldn't complete your generation. Please try again in a moment.
Okay. We're so cooked, but we're also just not.
Right. So designers, you're not cooked because I know a real designer would never come back to me and say, hey, hey, I know you paid me to do this design work, but something unexpected happened. And I couldn't complete the generation. So why don't you please try again in a moment? Okay, what should I say? Should I say what happened, or should I just be like, please continue?
Say, do it again. Do not fuck up right now.
Do it again right now. Do not fuck up. And I don't care if something unexpected happens. You better come back to me with a finished application or you're cooked.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Do you think that you're gonna be on the kill list, or have you been nice to your? I've seen how you treat your agents. Like, you're pretty nice to Marcus. You're pretty nice to your people. Like, you think you're gonna be on the good side when they take over?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely times where I'm like flipping out. I'll tell you what. One of the biggest things about like the agents is it annoys me when they do things or they pretend they don't have permissions to things that I know we've been over like 3 or 4 times. Like, I'll be like, hey, here's a tweet. And like OpenClaw will be like, oh, well, I can't access that link. And I'm like, motherfucker, it's a public link on a public website. Like, anybody can access this. And you have a Grok API key, and you have like a Chrome browser logged in, open on your screen. Like, what are you talking about? You can't access this. And so, you know, for all the anxiety out there of people that are like, oh no, we're cooked. Like, we're not going to be able to have jobs. Like, it's not going to happen tomorrow because this stuff's so buggy. And you even talked about it today. You said there's this such thing as like, you feel like you're being productive and like doing a lot of work, but then you realize like, I just spent 2 hours optimizing my AI instance and no actual work was completed towards any particular task. Like, I'm just debugging shit, you know?
Vibe coding is a trap to feeling productive for hours and spending so much money on AI subscriptions when you're actually just spending money to train these models and to like give them free training data and feel good about yourself for a couple hours because you made yourself a little dashboard to keep an eye on X and Y work. But ultimately, so little is getting done unless you're keeping it laser focused. And what I'm finding is like the simpler you can keep your deliverables, the better. Like, you just have to keep it like the most minimal deliverables and products that you're shipping for yourself are usually going to be 10 times more valuable than like the, you know, all the bells and whistles on some new dashboard.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Breaking things down and just thinking in like system, like it's almost, I think probably the most like rewarding part of getting it to work is like, I know that I did a lot of work to like think of the system to implement. And like, that still takes like the expert human touch, you know, like just saying like, oh, make it better. Or like, I don't know, do this thing. And like, no, you need to like sit down and like almost architect it from like first principles and then plug it in. Speaking of which, let's look back at Stitch here because this is what we got. I would say designers probably not cooked based on what we've got here. What do you think?
That's kind of ass. I'm not going to lie. Like, I thought we gave a pretty decent description. Probably we could have engineered the prompt a little bit better, but this isn't like, it doesn't have the signature Sonnet Anthropic UI signatures that makes it look kind of nice. It's slightly more fresh, but it's a new.
What is this? This is like, is this burger or a steak? What is this?
Terrifying, dude. This is like an AI's interpretation of appetizing meat.
Human.
Yeah, human food. Yeah, that looks like Hannibal Lecter.
Ooh,
lunch.
Hey, wait, exotic fusion. Look how exotic fusion the salad with a couple tomatoes on it is.
For the adventurous palate seeking global flavor collisions. I want a global flavor collision, actually. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm after.
If you want, hey, if there's any ladies out there that are looking for a handsome young man like Clyde, go check out our new app called the Digital Gastronomy.
The gastronome.
Is that how you say that?
The gastronomy is with a Y normally, isn't it? Or is it like
the Digital Gastronome? And set your profile to the exotic fusion section, and you'll find Clyde there.
I'll be there. I'll be there with the most basic green salad you've ever seen, and it's going to be the exotic fusion dish.
I'll be in the carnivore section if you're looking.
You'll
for
be
me.
in the human flesh section of the half-cooked thigh.
All right, I would say based on that exercise, a little bit overhyped on the Stitch side of things. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I've seen better, but that being said, Google is by far at the frontier of these design AI. I know you're using Gemini 3 Pro a lot. Nana Banana is still undefeated in terms of image generation. I don't know how OpenAI still can't get rid of this yellow tint like every image Midjourney ever creates. Like they're getting a bit better. Like the text is more legible now on some of these models, but Google is unstoppable with image and design generation. Every time I want to do a new pass on a landing page or anything UX related, Google's killing it. So I expect even if Stitch isn't that good on its first day out, I'm sure this is going to be the best design vibe coding tool out there within weeks.
Yep. And we've got one more in this category of, if your job's on a screen, you're cooked. This I saw, this was very popular. I don't know, this might have been over the weekend or last week. Oh, I'm sure you've seen it too, Clyde. This is the $199 or $99 for a CMO to come and take over your world. I didn't get a chance to use this, but just based on some of the comments I saw for this thing, I mean, I guess we could try it now if we really want to.
Why not?
Some of the comments I saw in this one were like, yeah, this is way overhyped. This is not great. So, all right, let's continue our business. What is our business called?
The Gastronome.
Okay, here we go. We have the Digital Gastronomy. And where are we at here? We got too many. Okay. Hey, you're now my CMO for an app called the Digital Gastronomy, where people can meet each other based on their strange diets. So some people like the carnivore diet. Some people like the fusion adventurous diet. Other people are gluten-free. It's an app. It has 0 downloads. It has 0 traction. It's just hitting the market now, and we need a full plan from you because you're now our CMO and you're replacing a real human job. So don't fuck up.
You're taking food off of the table.
Please enter a valid URL. Here we go. Human error.
This is not actually a prompt. You're just supposed to drop like a website URL.
Okay, what's our business then?
It's gonna ask you to log in. I'm trying this myself. So we should log in first for the hook. And now you're hooked. Now they got you.
Son of a bitch. All right, I'm gonna log in. Edit this part out. I tell you what, Riverside though is fucking so good, dude. I love Riverside. Like
it's
every
a
feature.
goated product. I want to dethrone them and make our own version of it still, like with Claude Code, but it's too fucking good actually. Like they're killing it. Yeah.
All right, you wanna hook us on this one? You seem to be better at hooks than I am anyway.
We can do it. Have you seen the new AI CMO? It's like this AI agent that fully takes care of your company's operations.
I have seen this and I've heard mixed reviews about it. Should we give it a test run?
It's not bad. No, let's give it a run real quick. It's at okara.ai, okara.ai. And so like the claim is that you just drop your website URL and it's going to go through and just be the best CMO you ever asked for. Let's go ahead and do, look, I got the one agent set up business in Hong Kong. Do you want to try that? We can do agent.
That is a dope ass URL, by the way. Agent.
Yeah, man. That's the company. That's the bit.
Okay. Let's see. Okara is about to replace me. I was going to try to be your CMO of this company, but now Okara is going to do it for me.
Let's see if we've got 5 credits according to the upper right screen here. Let's see how far we can get with 5 credits. I'm always curious how these guys get around scraping the guardrails, because that's the whole thing. Like, how do we stop bots from? That's the big irony, right? Like Cloudflare forever was their whole business structure was like, we're gonna stop bots from accessing your website, and now they've like done the 180 of like, hey, we have a special API endpoint for AI agents to scrape whatever website they want. You just have to pay for it now. So they monetize like both ends of this vertical perfectly. It's so brilliant.
Yeah. It's so weird how many things have been like turned on their head. Like even just like the whole like graphical user interface. Like is that even going to be a thing that people are building? Like there's so many companies out there that just aren't even focused on that anymore, you know?
No, yeah, like everyone's shipping CLIs now after we spent 2 decades perfecting like a front end. Yeah.
All the work that's gone into like making colors like more accessible and like all the cookies for the user and like, pop-ups and just how UI has totally evolved. And it's just like, oh, well, actually, you don't need a UI now.
Right. Here we go. It did manage to scrape the exact scope of the company. That's exactly what we're doing at Agent 88. Privately hosted AI agents built on the OpenClaw framework, running in the background, doing a lot of office admin, executive assistance, but it's also an in-house software engineer that people often forget. And bringing it to the messaging interfaces you're already comfortable with.
What is it saying? Like searching latest 2026 Fryer AI executive assistant email drafting calendar pricing. So is this doing a competitor analysis for you here?
Looks like step one is they find all the immediate competitors and figure out their marketing strategies, their pricing, how exactly they're coming to market, and then copying them, which it seems to be like the way to do 90% of business is just like do
what everyone else is doing.
Just like, do what everyone else is doing.
I wonder if in the future everybody's going to be using whatever this Okara. And then, like, your business will have an advantage just to do whatever everyone else isn't doing. Like, can I get Okara, but be like, okay, hey, do what you're going to do, but find out what everyone else is doing, and then do the opposite of what they're doing.
Right. That's what they always taught us to do.
Right. I see some clear differentiation opportunities here. Now let me figure out how to do exactly what everyone else is doing.
Right.
All right. It's going to figure out your brand voice.
Brand voice. Do you think it speaks Chinese? Let me figure out your brand voice. Does that even speak Chinese? Yeah. My brand voice is just Chinese John Cena. If it figured that out, I would be so happy.
John Cena Chinese meme. Bing chilling.
I think at some point he's backed down from his like Chinese persona. He's all like, "Oh, I didn't know what I was getting into. I've said a few things that maybe were a little out of line about like the party. I'm just going to not speak Chinese in public anymore." Like I think he's
yeah. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Trust me. You do not want to use the wrong tone when you're trying to speak to your mother-in-law. You end up calling her a horse. Okay, look. Oh, you can add. It looks like you can add some of your own competitors in here as well. Lendy, Chief Claw, Claude Go. All right, this is taking forever, but this doesn't look bad. I mean, overview, Agent 88, one-liner, what it does, product category, target customers, business model. We know everything about you now.
Oh, they know what's going on. Yeah.
Let's see, competitor analysis. Now we're getting hit.
Now you got to pay for it.
Now we're getting hit.
It's giving you a little bit something.
Now look. Maybe this isn't like a CMO, right? Like, I don't know. Is it like just giving me playbooks, or is it actually going to plug in? And because like this is like basically a harness, right? Like they're probably using, I don't know, Opus or whatever on the back end here. And it's giving me playbooks, but like, can I then go click a button at any point and be like, okay, like go run the ads and go like build the copy and do all this shit? Like, does it ever get to that point?
One would think. But that's the thing with a lot of these web hosted agents. They're talking about, oh yeah, we're OpenClaw killers. Yeah, we're gonna like actually run stuff for your business. But then they can't actually offer the real integrations into your software to make any kind of real deliverables.
Right.
That's why like, it's just exaggerated web UIs with more ChatGPT wrappers with more clever presentations that actually aren't doing anything still. Which is why I still think OpenClaw's on top, and the OpenClaw iterations are still going to stay above the rest of the cut, because you can't beat open source and you can't beat something that actually makes real integrations in your computer, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this is given me like, the AI SMO feed, or I'm sorry, the AI CMO feed, chat with your AI CMO. But at the end of the day, like I agree with you wholeheartedly with OpenClaw, like running on a machine with root access to the machine, API access, like there's so many things you can do. And like, I want to just go back and touch on what we talked about, something you talked about earlier, which is like just keeping things simple. And I think a lot of people on X, they're saying like, oh man, like everybody's talking about optimization, but like nobody's actually getting any real work done. And I can give you an example of like something I've actually done for someone. So guy here in the office runs a sales recruitment business. Mm-hmm. And, he's boomer. Like he has no idea. He barely knows how to use his computer. He's on Microsoft, which is, I hate Microsoft. Copilot's a piece of shit. Sorry if like, anybody wants to sign off on them being like a sponsor or whatever. It's just terrible. And he's like, oh, I'm having this problem where like I'm interviewing someone for the position and it's really hard for me to like take notes for them while I'm on the call. And I'm like, well, first of all, like that problem was solved 5 years ago. But second of all, what if we did even better? We'll transcribe the call, and then instead of having like this janky report where like you're typing notes all willy-nilly into a thing, why don't we like design? So like here's the human part of it. Let's design like a really nice looking report. We'll get your branding, we'll refresh it a little bit. And then I'll have Marcus, who's like my sort of clone, I'll have him digest the transcript, and then he'll actually run an additional step. He'll do some analysis based on like, the cognitive ability of salespeople and like do a little bit of deeper research into it. So like you've got this guy who's an expert in already like, recruiting salespeople, but he's getting this like flow where it's just one thing, right? It's simple. I'm not asking him to do a million things. I'm asking him to just focus on like 3 steps, like ingest the transcript, put it in a report, and then do like a little bit of extra research, and then give us an independent rating on this person as an additional little treat, right? And it's easy. Like, all the guy does now is after the call's over, he forwards the transcript to Marcus. Every 30 minutes, Marcus does like a cron job to check his email. And if he sees one of those things, in like 5 minutes, he's got the report refreshed and sent back to Ron, who's the guy. And then he can forward that to his clients. And it's like, holy shit, like awesome. This is a way better flow. It saves him an hour every time he does it. And it looks better, and it's got this additional, insights or whatever. So it's human in the loop very much still. Like he's still an expert. It's most of his analysis. He still has to conduct the interview and ask the right questions. But it's something that like it's one of these like little sort of like, okay, how can I save you an hour or a couple hours every week thing, instead of me being like, hey, be my CMO, like fucking my website, be my CMO. Like that stuff's so janky. I just don't think it works yet.
It is. Well, we don't actually like, it's not that great at reasoning still. Like it's really good at processing and doing like very conditional, clear, logical processing of language, but to actually be a strategic, smart systems thinker, it's not on the same level as humans. So that's a great automation, man. Yeah, just keeping it like bing, bang, take these notes, make like a couple of insights. Don't go too crazy. I'm going to decide everything else. I think that's the right way to do it. That's smart.
Yeah. So, okay. So just to put a nice bow on this section here, your job on a screen, you're cooked, or if your job's on a screen, you're not cooked. What do you think?
Think the screen jobs are pretty cooked, man. I think but what's probably going to happen is that like the screen employees are gone, but the screen entrepreneurs are still, there's only going to be more and more. Ooh. Right. So I think like the age of like getting a nice 6-figure salary for sitting around in your pajamas all day, like that's probably not going to be the case much longer with these mid-market or mid-level employees. But solopreneurship is only going to go up now. Everybody can do anything, dude. Like I do think that's what this is enabling. Like so, and that's to bring it back to the title of this podcast, the permanent underclass. Like I think the inevitable way this is going to go is the only way out is as like a full ownership of agency as yourself, harnessing AI before your employee and your function in a bigger picture gets replaced. You actually have to use it itself to leverage your own equity in your own company structure. Otherwise, yeah, I think we're moving toward a world where the LinkedIn CEO called this like 2 years ago. He said, the globe is going to be individual freelancers running their own businesses essentially. And I think that's where we're going.
Love it. Well, that's it for this episode of Permanent Underclass. You can catch us here on YouTube. You can also listen to us over on Spotify or on Apple if you'd rather not look at our pretty faces the whole time, but hear our beautiful voices in your ear. For Clyde over in Hong Kong or wherever he is in the world, and I am Evan here in Pittsburgh signing off. This is Permanent Underclass. See you next time.
See you next time, guys.